Welcome to McArthur Live. We're your hosts, Tim Bartz
And Sarah Davis.
thank you for joining us. And we are going to be recording this as a podcast, so some of you might be listening to the podcast. And do have some warning now. We do have some visuals because we are recording this on YouTube. So we do have a couple things when we get to the dealer news updates where we have actually some pictures and video. So you might want to go back and check it over on our YouTube channel if you want to. For those of you that want to listen to this later, find your favorite podcasting platform and you can listen to it there. So, all right. So welcome in everybody. And today is my birthday, January 23rd. Yes. A lot of people don't like to know talk about their age, but I did turn 53 this year.
Thank you. Now I know Mom's age. She tries to keep it a secret.
She does a pretty good job of that. All right. Anyway, so yes, had some having a good day. So having a pretty good day. So of course, one of my favorite things about turning, and maybe it's just when you get older, when you have a birthday, you get that free Starbucks drink. I was gonna actually have you stop, but so hopefully I can still get it tomorrow. I know Scooters, which is as I pass by Scooters all the time. Theirs is you just trigger it, so I can get it tomorrow if I want. But actually went through Scooters today, and Derek was in line in front of me, so he actually bought my drink today. So I'm like, well, I was going to use my birthday, my free birthday beverage, but he bought it, which is really nice. So anyway, all right. So how's everybody doing? Hope you guys are having a great week. Let's see this weekend what happened. Oh, Green Bay lost. Yeah, great. They played good. It was a good game. It was a good game, but they did lose. So I wasn't that sad about it because they got further than I thought they would anyway, beating Dallas. But man, they really could have won that game. But it's going to be fun to watch them in the future. And Jordan Love did a good job. But yes, it was a good game anyway. And Chiefs won. Watch that game too. So Chiefs won. That was a good game as well. About all the games except for the Ravens game came down to the wire, but they were good games. So there you go. Anyway, outside of that, don't know what else is going on. Had jury duty yesterday, so I wasn't even here all day. Wasn't selected, which is why I'm here today. But yeah, so now I'm free for a year because they didn't select me, but since I went through the process, anyway, all good there. So all right, well, I think that's about it for news updates. Mm-hmm. But I did get a Maverick Monday video done. So for those of you that didn't notice, I actually recorded that at home. Because I was like, okay, well, if we get like when you're out for the court, like it was an hour and 45-minute lunch. And I'm like, well, I can record a video, but I don't have time to get back to the dealership. So I ate lunch and then recorded that video real quick. And then when I got done, then I edited and uploaded it last night. So we got her done. That's how that got done. That's about all I got done yesterday for work. So there you go. But all fun.
I'm reading back through the comments.
Yep, I got this thing here in my way. I can't see him.
I had to go pick up dog food before I came here, so that's why I was running late. Because Lebo was like, "Hey, they didn't have our dog food. Can you go by and see if they have it now?" So he checked like Sunday. So I went by and they didn't have it in its normal spot. And he's like, "They must not still have it anymore." I was like, "Have you checked the aisles? Because it's lined with dog food." And he's like, "I checked. It's not there." Sure enough, if you go all the way down the aisle, turn, it is in the center aisle, just all the way down at the end. So I was like, did you check here? No. Well, I found it. He's like, I got to cats and I stopped. Well, if you keep going, there's more dogs.
All right. So those of you on the live stream, we do have dessert. So if you see me snacking later, cheesecake is one of my favorite. And these are nice little 2-bite live stream, 2-bite. If I wasn't in live stream, maybe a 1-bite here, but there we go. We'll can't eat them all. I'm taking them home as well for
to share.
63 of them in there, so 3 different flavors. Well, we might try each of the different flavors today. Let's see, what are they? We got New York style cheesecake. That'd probably be the plain one. Yeah. Caramel chocolate chip cheesecake. I need that light. You want to go turn it back on?
Yeah. It's the one right across from us, right?
Oh, it's the hallway. They shut the
There you
lights out
go.
on us. So,
He doesn't normally turn off the lights. He
Yep.
doesn't know which ones we need.
all right, and then the last is the strawberry swirl cheesecake. So, which I like strawberry too. So there you go. So those are the ones we'll try those. So yeah, that'll be all good. So anyway, it'll be fun. So we'll try those later. We'll see later. We'll get through the stuff we need to talk about. We won't talk about it during some of it, but all right. How's everything else going? We will talk later. I didn't have a lot of things. I'm like, what am I each week? I'm like, what am I going to talk about this week? There's nothing like in the news or whatever, and that I can talk about and for the on my mind. In fact, I don't even know if I have an is it true. Anyway, we'll figure that out. But for on my mind, I got a birthday wish list, things that I'd like to have for the Bronco. Anyway, tell you guys what all we've done to the Bronco and then what we'd like to do to the Bronco. So I usually share that with my members. We'll share it in this one later. So, all right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Sorry, I'm
Yep.
not talking. I'm finding members.
there you go. So yeah, if you, of course, if you will go over here and do that. So, not to forget to talk about that. But if you do want to become a member,
Yes.
you just click on the join button there beside the
Mhm.
subscribe. So had somebody actually reach out and said, I want to join. Where do I find that? And any of the videos down there where the subscribe button is, it's going to be right beside it. It'll say join. So it won't say membership. It'll say join. Click on that join. It gives you a little more information about what's entailed in membership. Now, if you're an iPhone user, you may not see it if you're on a tablet or a phone. But if you go up to little a and big A on a browser, and hit request desktop site, then you'll find it. So that's kind of iPhone. Apple kind of hides it there on mobile and tablets. So if you're on a Mac, then you'll be able to see it. But and then all of our membership content you'll be able to find. Actually, if you're on the channel now, I have it in the list of videos and as such. If you just scroll down, you'll find it. But you can also click on the membership tab and find the membership content. So we do a member live on Friday at 4. We go over members' orders, but also kind of chat and see what's going on. Maybe they bring up some things and great topics and ideas for the live stream. And then on Saturday, we do a lot walk, or I do a lot walk. We walk the lot and everything. And some, it's kind of more behind the scenes, some other things, show things going on in the showroom, maybe things with the dealership that people may not be aware of. So it's kind of more of an insider kind of little community there. So
we do shorts like on our trips. We do extra little shorts or videos just for the members. Holidays, we tend to do a short here or there showing off family time and such.
Yep, which brings up, I don't think I mentioned it to the members, but I haven't mentioned it to the public yet. I will be going to NADA this year, which is coming up next week, actually. Fly out Wednesday and get back Sunday. So I'll be at NADA there. And I think the only night we have something going on is Thursday night. So if anybody wants to get together, have dinner or something like that, or hang out, one of the bars or something. I think we're staying at the Wynn, but yeah, we can join up. So email me, timothybarts@gmail.com if you want to do a meetup or something. Again, we'll fly in Wednesday afternoon, have no plans on Wednesday. We just need to be there for Thursday morning sessions. So if you want to be doing Wednesday night, something like that, we could do that, or on the weekend, Friday or Saturday. We're not flying out till Sunday morning early, though. So I can't stay up too late because it's like 6:30 flight. Yeah. I don't like that. I guess want to get back so people can spend time with their family and Anyway, not too bad though. We're flying out of Wichita, so all right. Anyway, enough of that. But yeah, gonna go to NADA and hopefully the Ford dealer meeting will be fun and educational. So anyway, all right. Got a lot of members in there.
Yeah.
How many people we got?
We have not hit the 300 mark. We actually are below 200 at this point on members.
Okay. Normally we were running around 250, but we're running a little low right now. All right.
I think we had a bunch of members join when they placed their Maverick order.
So they could see what's going on.
So they could see what was going on and then dropped off after.
Yeah.
Which is okay.
Yeah.
We like
I like I like a smaller group of people that want to just
smaller
hang
group
out.
That want to hang out, chat. We have the Discord Did you
Yes.
say
forgot about
Discord? We
that.
have the Discord chat, so we can all keep in touch when we're not in a live stream.
Yep.
All right.
You want to
Throw
highlight
that graphic up.
some members here?
All right. We'll start off with Ghostang. One of the first ones in there. I couldn't see the top comments. It stops after a certain point. We have Bucko saying, "Hey, Ridgeview." And if you don't know who Ridgeview is, he is one of our moderators. He greets everyone and helps us keep everything civil.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, here's his. Sarah's supposed to decorate the office tonight, folks. Maybe there'll be cake and ice cream. I forgot to decorate.
When you're running late, that happens.
Yeah.
I came in today, was glad to not see the decorations.
I was joking on Friday, in the member live, that I was going to decorate his entire office before he came in.
You're probably wondering if I was going to even be here today, yesterday.
No, you told me you'd be here.
Not till like 4:30.
Yeah. But I didn't have time to go to the store before work, so that's what happens. We have Anthony Sparaccio. Happy birthday. Larry Perry, also happy birthday. And Larry is getting his Maverick soon.
Awesome. I know we have a couple members picking theirs up Thursday and Friday, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Craig Mock, happy 21st birthday, Tim.
Awesome. Hopefully he's got a Bronco on order with us, but I don't think it's we'll talk about scheduling in a second.
Yeah. Francis Arrigo, hey gang, just got back last night from my 5,000-mile road trip from Kansas in his Maverick. I think
they headed up to Maine and then back down.
To Maine, and now I think they're getting ready to head down to Florida.
I think they just got back down to Florida. That's probably how they got the 5,000-mile trip.
Probably. We have Sean Watkins. Hey everyone. Our Quibido. Good. Happy birthday Monday.
It's Tuesday, though.
Hey, all, survived the freezer here in St. Louis. It's shorts weather this weekend.
What was it? 38 or 40 today?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Unless it was windy.
Green Mach-E. We'll talk about the Mach-E in a little bit.
We have Aurora here, which she's not showing up as a member, but I know she's a member.
Yeah.
We haven't been able to figure that out. Yeah. But I don't know how to
log it in probably to the account. Getting logged into the member account, but yes, she is. Mike
M. Hello, Richview. We have Niles Gridley. Hi, friends and family. How is everyone? He's our other moderator and our aftermarket expert. He is one of our aftermarket specialists here at McArthur. So if you have any questions pertaining to aftermarket or performance, drop them below and he can help you out.
That's right.
Hello all. Happy birthday, Mr. Bartz from Jack Evans.
He said member for life. So I'm counting on you for that.
We have happy birthday, Mr. Tim. Woohoo! From Gino. Rushman, happy birthday, Tim.
This will be probably because for my birthday to land on a live stream night, it's gonna only happen like once every 6 or 7 years. So
mine's on Wednesday. So
but then the next year would be a Tuesday, right?
Possibly.
The year after that?
No, last year it was Monday. It was on Labor Day last year.
Oh, that's right.
And then because this year's a leap year,
it moves to Wednesday.
So
it could be 7 years for you too.
6. Mm-hmm. All right. Tim's just a kid from Mid-Coast, Maine. Brian Foster. Hello, everyone from gorgeous Southern California. We have Steve P here. Hey, from Phoenix. Happy birthday. ML Culpepper. Do we spot a few more gray hairs? Join the club. And RagnarCon. I'll let y'all read that one.
Oh, boy. So I do have a birthday buddy. Actually, I have 2 that I know of. So there's someone emailed me and said his birthday is today as well. About 20 years before me. So, but he's Mike, he is a birthday buddy. He has a Maverick.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Yeah, it's pretty cool. Actually growing up in high school, we actually had I had a high school classmate graduated. Basically, we were born on the same day in 71. So we were born the same day, and so all through high school, we always celebrate our birthdays together. So we're birthday buddies, and so high school classmate there. But there you go. And we got Elizabeth just popped in with a member chat. 17 months. Elizabeth has been a member. Pretty awesome. I don't know if you can get that one. Grab that one or not. Here we go. There it is. I ought to make a highlights. There you go. So member for 17 months, and thank you for birthday wishes to everybody. All right. So there we go. Any others? All right. Videos this last week. Of course, did a Maverick Monday yesterday, as well as last week. I think those are going pretty fun. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying those. At some point, we'll do one on the deep sleep issue and such, and get to the bottom of that. I'm going to do some investigating on that. So anyway, we'll at some point do that. But yeah, we'll do more and more of these and talking about those. And hopefully you guys saw the one yesterday, the things that you may not see that you thought you were going to have when you're 23 that now goes to 24 that you won't see. So anyway, so there you go. But all right, let's see what else. What other videos last week? Not sure. I am working on a Maverick Mach-E video, Mach-E GT. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but I'll be doing my complete guide video on that. Hopefully, I can get that recorded tomorrow. See if I can get some time. If I need to, I'll stay a little late, get it done, but we'll hopefully get that live for you guys for maybe Thursday. So I'll be looking for that video. If you're looking to place an order for a Mach-E, we'll talk about what I ordered recently. Anyway, all right. And don't forget about all the channels that we support down in the description. All Train Nation, Johnny's Car Care Reviews, Allie, the boys. Of course, there's several of our members, including RagnarCon, that has a channel. So check those channels out if you're wanting to find some good channels. There's some of the channels that I follow and support. So there you go. Don't forget about those. And what else? I think that's it. You're typing away over there. You got any? You want to go over the?
Good dealer.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna do the sent
You ready?
package. Found out it was delayed. Should arrive Thursday or Friday from R. Quibido.
All right. You ready?
Yes. All right, I have one from Maverick Truck Club from Crazy B86, Darlings Ford and Bangor. Emmy is Maine, right?
Yeah.
Bangor, Maine was great. I did my order with Rick Souther, but he was on leave at the time my Maverick arrived. I worked with Nate Morris to wrap up the deal. I don't recall offhand or have the paperwork handy with the name of the man I worked with in finance. All involved were excellent. I got my truck at MSRP plus tax, title, and documentation. They made a solid trade-in offer right out the gate and got me an APR matching the lowest I would have been able to get through my own credit union. They did initially add their maintenance package, but were forthright about it being in the initial payment estimate and removed it no problem when I declined it. I declined any extended warranty as I didn't want to finance it, but the gentleman in finance gave me his card and offered to sell it at current pricing if I reached out to him later, pending any increase out of his control. Aside from the wait to get the truck, it was by far the smoothest purchasing experience I've had with any dealer. And that was Darlings Ford in Bangor, Maine.
I've been there. That's where we flew into,
That's
and then
right.
Bridgeview came and picked me up. And from what I understand, that's where Stephen King lives.
Yes.
The author.
He has a house there.
Yeah, he's got a house there. I didn't go see it, but supposedly Ridgeview knows where it's at. Anyway, all right. Let's see what else. All right, we ready for scheduling information?
I think so.
We're not quite at. We're right at 20 minutes. So I actually told people in the Maverick Truck Club, they're asking about these constraint lists and everything. I was like, hey, about 7:20, I'm going to go and talk about scheduling notes. If you really want to know all the insights, you got to check it out. So.
All right. So Gino Abbing has had this deep sleep problem for months now with his Maverick. Finally, it went away with a recall reprogram on their Maverick.
Is that the one for the taillight?
I think so.
Because I know that's a software update.
So
thing.
probably with the software update, they probably did a good reset on it, reprogram, and it solved his deep sleep issue.
All right. Anybody else out there that has the deep sleep issue and get the recall, let me know if it went away. So, because I always thought the deep sleep issue was more that it was if you're not driving it that often. I know that always happened to our Fusion hybrid.
Right. Well, the Fusion it's ours now.
Yeah.
And Lebo didn't drive it for about 6 days, and it went into deep sleep. We had to jump it.
Yeah. Well, and it'll warn you that it's going into deep sleep before.
But we don't have the Ford Pass app.
Yeah. I'm saying when you get the Ford Pass, it'll tell you it's going to deep sleep.
We don't have it connected.
Well, and I even had, I think it was the Bronco that said it's going to deep sleep, and even on my Bronco. So, because I wasn't driving it that much last winter, I didn't drive the Bronco much, and so it kind of sat like almost all winter.
Yeah.
And
maybe I should see if
now I've learned I drive it at least every Saturday, if not before, or
yeah.
Your mom drives it usually.
Yeah. Well, I had problems in my C-Max with it doing like pairing and some other stuff. And I was like, can you guys do some diagnostics and see if this needs an update or something? Sure enough, it needed an update. So maybe the Fusion needs an update.
I don't know.
That's good information.
And it could be, it also could be a bad battery. So it could be a solution too. Because I know there's
replaced that battery.
I know some of that. Yes. Yeah. Yours I did. But I mean, if you don't drive it for a long time, it's going to happen.
Yes.
It's just a given.
6 days seems short.
Maybe, but not in the cold.
It was before the cold.
Oh, I don't know.
It was before the severe cold. It was when Lebo had COVID.
So I need information from people. What I need you to let me know that if your vehicle's going to deep sleep, what are the conditions? What's, are you driving it? What's it doing exactly? For me to understand what the deep sleep is, because I don't have a vehicle that has that. I have an EcoBoost and I'm not having the issues. And I think most people are hybrid that are having the issue, not EcoBoost.
Yeah. But if you ever think that if you're going out of town and you're going to park at the airport and you're going to be gone for a week and your vehicle might go into deep sleep mode, don't worry. You can grab a jump pack from Walmart or somewhere. We got ours at Walmart and it works great. It's about
we should get we should market that to our Maverick people. A Ford Vito Guide jump pack.
It's about this big. It's not too expensive.
We'll get a bag for it.
I think ours was $60 and it was from Walmart. Wasn't bad. And we just keep that in our car charged up. So take that with you to the airport. Leave it in your vehicle not in the trunk. Don't leave it in the trunk because you'll have to do a manual release for it at that point. Leave it in the back seat or something where you can easily access it. Anyways,
real quick. See, Aurora, she was with us. She was there when she picked us up too at the airport, and we went out to eat. And Aurora went with us, and she's the one that said that they've been to Stephen King's house a couple of times and met him twice book signings. So
Aurora, have you talked to Lebo? He is a huge Stephen King fan. I don't know if you got to talk to him when you were here in August, but huge Stephen King fan. He wants to go see. On our honeymoon, we did a tour of the Stanley Hotel because that's where he got the inspiration for The Shining.
Yeah. I don't read a lot of his books. Anyway,
back on track.
All right. What were you going to say?
About what?
Do you have any questions?
Oh, if you have any questions while we're going through this, drop an @SarahDavis below with your question. If I don't, I won't answer it right away. I'm going to pull it aside for the end of our topic. If it pertains to a topic, we'll answer it. If not, we'll answer it when it pertains to a topic later on or during the Q&A.
Yep. So pop those in there, and maybe we'll have a few more extra people from Maverick Truck Club. Doesn't look like it. But anyway, sometimes I include the Q&A after scheduling information into that video because I separate that into its own video for Wednesday. I think some people just wait for that video, but there you go. Anyway, so we'll get into this, and we'll probably even maybe towards the end we'll talk about some things that are going on in some of the different groups, and I forgot to put an image up there, but anyway, we'll kind of talk about what those sheets mean. They're floating around a lot on all the forums, and with no explanation of what any of this stuff means. And so then people have to answer them each week. It's like a different set of people. They're like, oh, it looks like this and this and this. This can take me forever. and there's actually more to it than that, and people just don't explain it. So I need to have like a canned phrase. So every week when they pop it in there, I just go in there and put that in there on all the different forums. Might not be a bad idea. Or maybe I should do a video just on that and then pop that video in there every week.
Yeah.
Here you go. You got to watch this if you're new to this. Anyway. All right. So yeah, put your questions in. But all right, let's get going. Let's go on over here to scheduling information. All right, so for this week, we're going to go over scheduling notes. I might actually put the glasses on, might make it easier for me to see, but we'll see how things go. And so we'll go over through scheduling information and again, this is for this week. There's a couple of sheets that you're seeing floating around on social media and different forums and such, what they call a commodity constraint report that shows, different trim levels, options and such that maybe are constrained versus the U.S. capacities and such. And we'll explain a little bit of that. But also some people are actually floating around the scheduling information sheet, which isn't supposed to be floating around either. And some of them, they say, can contradict each other. So we'll try to explain it the best we can. If you have questions about it, again, drop them down in the comments. Or if you're watching this live, then put that at Sarah Davis in there and we'll answer your questions about that. All right. So first we need to talk about the terms. We'll run through those. All right. So the first one is the order bank. So order bank is where dealer places all stock and retail orders. So when you put an order in, you're not putting the order in with Ford. You're putting the order in with your dealer, and your dealer submits it in the order bank to Ford. So you're technically ordering from your dealer, and the dealer orders from Ford. Hopefully that makes sense. A retail order is a customer placed order. So that would be if you want a vehicle, right? You find one, there's not one on the lot that it fits the criteria you're looking for, then you can place an order at that time in the order bank. A stock order is where orders are placed by the dealer for stock or lot inventory. So if a dealer has so many retail orders, they can put stock orders in. If they have more allocations, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, than what they have retail orders, they have to put stock orders in to fulfill those allocations and then start gaining some stock inventory on their lot so people can just come in and buy right off of that and not have to order. Priority code, a priority is a dealer is giving to the orders. So retail orders, those ones for customers, are anywhere from a 03 through 19. The lower the better, kind of like a golf score. 20 to 80 are for stock. And so stock orders or retail orders are always looked at first before a stock with the same configuration. I got to say that and emphasize that because there are some people that says this isn't fair. I have a priority 3, but yet I'm seeing priority 10s at the same dealership getting scheduled. Why is that? It's because you don't have the configuration that Ford is looking for. That is the first criteria. If they can only schedule XLT Mavericks right now that are EcoBoost, and you have an XL hybrid, that's not the criteria they're looking for. That's where maybe a 10 that has that configuration would be selected for an 03. So I want to make sure everybody knows that. Scheduling, that is when Ford schedules an order for production dates in the future. That's what we're talking about here this week. What is Ford scheduling for production? Production dates are when the Ford plans to build your vehicle or your order. A lot of times when they first get scheduled, they'll get scheduled to the day or to the week. And then as they get closer, they'll get scheduled to the day, the actual day of the week. And then allocations, Ford gives dealers allocations to schedule their orders. A dealer needs an allocation to schedule an order in the order bank. So if they have orders in there, but they don't have allocations, then the orders don't get scheduled. A dealer earns allocations from their sales of each model within their region. And then also depending on how many stock or in transit vehicles they have, which is why we got 0 this month, is because we have enough coming in transit than what we are needing. They feel like we sell in the next several months. So that's why we got a 0. Constraints, that is options that are in short supply or may take longer to build. We'll talk about some of those where we talk about limited and exhausted availability. That would be some of those constraints. Capacity, that is a planned production rate of a given motor, trim, or option. So when we say something is being built at a 45%, capacity, that's how many they're going to build within that production cycle that we're looking at scheduling this week. Job 1 and 2, that's production run within the model year. So they'll split into two different runs in case I need to make any changes to production, to supplies, or something like that. they'll change that and halfway through the year. That allows them to do that and keep production going. Balance out, that is the end of production, balancing out to produce a certain option model, sometimes a color that they'll balance out. And that usually happens towards the end of the model year production. We know Edge and Explorer are getting close to that for scheduling. They're going to produce through what I think April, I believe. So that's where you'd see that come into play. So there we go. So that is that information. So again, hopefully I explained most of that. If you have any questions, of course, we can get to those towards the end, and we'll try to explain it as we go. The first vehicle I want to talk about is the 24 model year Mustang. There's currently 823 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. Last week, there were 1391, which means they scheduled at least 500 retail orders. Plus, they probably scheduled some stock ones too. I know we had some stock ones scheduled. Their March estimated to make about 2,990 Mustangs for March, which is what they're scheduling for right now. The order banks are open up if you want to place an order for a Mustang or a Dark Horse if a dealer has a Dark Horse allocation. Dark Horse is allocated separately from the other Mustang models or trim levels. They are going to be scheduling this week for main commitment. Main commitment means sometimes you'll see retail only, sometimes you'll see main commitment. Main commitments means that you'll see some stock ones as well. So if a dealer gets so many allocations, like we're supposed to get 4 Mustang allocations, and we didn't get them all scheduled last week, then they're going to try to give us those stock ones since we didn't have retails. They are scheduled for the weeks of March 4th through the weeks of March 25th. Current exhaust availability items are the Mustang Night Pony package and the 18 by 8.5 inch machine face aluminum wheel with a high gloss ebony black painted pockets. Now, when we hear exhausted, there's several different terms we're going to hear. We're going to hear limit availability, exhaust availability. One that you don't ever see really is no availability. So exhausted is not the very worst. It could be no availability at all. Like we'll see on the Bronco Sport, no availability. And we'll talk about that, an option there. But this is exhaust availability, which means that they don't have a lot. So they can't schedule a lot. Limited means they're, it's not quite, I don't know the percentage or anything, but it's not going to be the full capacity. Let's just say that. So like no Night Pony package normally would be a certain capacity amount. When it's exhausted, that means they can't hit that capacity. So they have to put exhausted on there just so that dealers know that you have a good likeliness that those won't get scheduled, but there are some that could get scheduled. And we've seen that a lot. We've seen people with an exhausted availability still get scheduled, so that it can still happen. Moving on to the 24 model year Escape. Currently, there's 334 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. Last week, I think we looked at that, it was like 465. Their estimated March production is 6,000 vehicles, and that will, so it looks like that they only scheduled like a few retails. Usually the first week they'll schedule retails first, and then they'll start getting to the main commitment. Like this in here, they are going to be scheduled to the main commitment. So if a dealership like us has allocations but they don't have any retail orders, they're going to start scheduling those stock orders. And so we're not seeing that number of how many stock orders are in the order bank. Order banks are open up for the Escape for all trim levels. The weeks that they're going to schedule for this week is the weeks of March 4th through weeks of March 25th. It says we will not be scheduling any hybrids for U.S. stock. So no stock hybrids will get scheduled this week. Just a little note there for that. And then really on the Escape there, I don't see any really major constraints on anything there. So next is a 24 model year Bronco Sport. Currently 184 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank, so only 184. And then last week it was 267. So they did schedule probably some stock ones, or actually I think last week was retail only. So they got those scheduled. Their planned production for March production is 3,000 units. They're scheduling for March dates. Order banks are open up right now for all trim levels. And they are planning to schedule this week for main commitment. So probably dealers like for us, we didn't have a lot of retail orders, so they're going to take some stock ones. There are going to be a lot of dealers in that same situation. So they are scheduling for the weeks of March 4th through March 25th. No scheduling for Badlands. until mid-March. So probably of the 184, most of those are Badlands. So just for FYI on that. Now, exhaust availability for the tech package, that's optional on Outer Bank, as well as the convenience package is optional on the Big Bend and the freewheeling. The black appearance package is optional on the Big Bend, as well as the 225 65 R17 all-season tire. So those are exhaust availabilities. Again, not necessarily that it won't schedule. It still could, but it's very exhaustive with only 184 unscheduled retail orders. If you have a non-Badlands, probably a good chance, even with exhaust availability on some of those items. So just keep that in mind and keep hope alive there. Next is the 24 model year Edge. Currently only 276 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. Last week, there were 1,186. With the planned production of 8,250 units to be built in March, probably wondering why didn't all 276 get scheduled. Some of those might have because of dealer allocations. If a dealer didn't have enough allocations, but they had more orders and allocations, then they wouldn't get scheduled. They might need to go into the next month. Some of it could be that order that's still in there is for ST, which they have no availability for. So order banks are open up for everything except for the ST, it looks like. But I've heard that it's going to be closing soon. So get those last orders in. They are scheduled this week for the weeks of March 11th through March 25th for main commitment, which would mean stock in retails, depending on to fulfill the dealer's allocations. Exhaust availability for the Edge SEL version. That's 201A equipment group. And then all Edge ST orders with the 2.7 engine are now balanced out. So there you go. There's your where we mentioned that balance out. Balance out means they're done. They're done scheduling for production any ST orders. So some of those 276 are probably in there and will just stay in there and won't get scheduled because some of those, I think actually, I have my notes on that. What do I do with them? Let me double check that because I think that on Edge, yeah, there's currently of the 276, 45% of them are the ST version. So if you look at that, so you're talking 100 and some of those that will just set in there. So anyway, so that's kind of how that works. All right, moving on to the 24 model year Ranger. Currently only 1,575 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank, excluding Raptor. Last week there was 2,717, and last week they scheduled retail onlys. So they scheduled 1,200 vehicles last week. So March estimated production is 3,500 units, 700 Raptors. And so you can kind of see there that how many more they could schedule. So they really probably could schedule the rest of those Rangers if dealers have enough allocations. So again, you need an allocation to schedule an order. So if a dealer has more orders than the allocations, that's where we probably wouldn't see all 1,500 get scheduled, but we should get close, hopefully. Order banks are open up for the 24 Ranger. They are scheduling for main commitment. So that would be, of course, retails was last week. This week, they might get some stock if dealers have allocations, but don't have enough retail orders. They'll probably schedule some stock ones as well. They are scheduled for the weeks of March 4th through March 25th. No scheduling for Raptor orders this week. So if you're waiting for that, it will not schedule this week. Limited availability for the 18-inch alloy wheel, which is a part of the chrome appearance package. So if you're looking for that, again, limited availability, not 100% not happening. They will always focus on those retail orders first. With that, keep that in mind. 24 model year Bronco. They did not schedule last week, by the way. I know they said they were going to, and on Friday we got an email saying, or Thursday I think it was, that they were not going to be scheduling. They're putting that off till this week. So there's currently 5,775 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. Last week there was 5,174. So about 600 orders were put in the last week into the order bank. So they are estimated to produce 8,000 Broncos this in the month of March. Also 1,150 Raptors and 358 Heritage limited editions as well. So on top of that, so we're talking 9,400 or something, 9,500 vehicles total. We're going to talk about later in the video or in the live stream about that too. So priority scheduling for Raptor, Heritage Limited, Heritage, and Everglades this week. So that was supposed to happen last week, got pushed off. It'll probably happen this week. I know we had 4 Heritage Edition orders that we're previewing. That'll probably get scheduled this week. So, all right. And then best availability is the 2-door Heritage Limited stock orders, it says. Raptor orders will require a mix in the order bank of 50% with the standard wheel and 50% with the optional beadlock wheel. It says, and also 50% vinyl and 50% leather. So 50-50 on all of those. So depending on what you have in there, pretty good, a 50-50 chance there. Order banks are open up right now for the 24 model year Bronco, with the exception of the Heritage Limited Edition and the Heritage Edition. So keep that in mind. And so there you go. All right. And I mean, really on any of these, I've heard some people say, hey, don't put, a certain package on there, but about all of the configurations are within capacity. The ones that are probably the hardest ones is those Heritage Editions, which those order banks are closed, but go ahead and place your orders, put in what you want. About all of them are within capacity, and shouldn't take too long to get scheduled for about everything. So, I mean, I know the sheet has been floating around on the Bronco 6G. Even your Black Diamond, if you're looking to get one of those, don't feel like you can't place that because they're over capacity. They are not. Again, remember, there's a column there that shows, hey, 12% of the orders are Black Diamond, but their capacity is 8%. Again, 12% of the unscheduled orders are Black Diamond, but their capacity is a different number. Their capacity is what we talked about, 8,000 units. So 8% of 8,000, that's how many, Black Diamonds they plan to schedule. What's that, about 1,000? So it's still within a capacity of 682. So you should be good in about any configuration that you're looking for. Just place that order. It shouldn't take you too long to get too scheduled anymore on a Bronco. So, but you might check some dealer lots. There are a lot of vehicles at dealer lots. And there's a lot of dealers that are willing to make deals on those, including us. We're below MSRP on all of our Broncos that are in stock.
Come all right. Take one from us.
Yes. We need to sell 6. That's our objective this month. We've sold 2. We need 4 more. Let's get them going. All right. 24 model year Maverick is next. There's currently 19,378 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. Last week, there was 23,075. So they scheduled almost 400. So what, 3,700 or something they scheduled last week, which was retail only scheduling. Their March estimate is 8,300 vehicles for the month of March. They've been making about 13,000, made 10,000 in December. 8,300 for March is what the plan is. And they are scheduling this week for the weeks of March 4th through March 25th. Get that out. And then limited availability for the following items: hybrid, the XL version, and the black appearance package was optional on the XLT and Lariat. So that's limited availability, not exhausted and not closed completely. Exhaustive availability for these 3 items: the hard trifold tonneau cover, the splash guards, the front and rear, and the wheel that's on the XL and XLT, the 225/65 R17 tire. So again, exhausted doesn't mean it won't schedule. So again, keep that in mind. We're still going to see some of those scheduled. Probably why we did see last week that less than 4,000 got scheduled, when they still have another 4 more thousand they can schedule. They'll probably get those others scheduled, but a lot of them had configurations that they couldn't quite schedule last week. Now, parts could be a different outlook this week, and we could start seeing some of those scheduled. Now, if you have an EcoBoost, that's going to help your order out. If you have, even the black appearance package is kind of constrained, but if maybe you have an FX4 EcoBoost, you get a different wheel, right? And so that can make a different tire as well. So that can help your order too. So keep that in mind. There's some things there that will help. I know that the same sheets floating out on Maverick Truck Club as well. We might talk about during the Is It True section about that, and about whether or not, what's true and what you need to learn from that. And know that second column where it says retail U.S. order bank, USOB is U.S. order bank. That's how many of the 19,378 orders have that option on there. Like 87% of the 19,000 is hybrid. Their capacity is 55%. Well, 55% of 8,000 is 4,000 vehicles. So again, you got to look at it that way. So if you do have a hybrid, it will take more than a month maybe to get your scheduled. So, and then, same way on the others as well. XL, 60% of the 19,000 are XL orders, with 23% being their capacity of the 8,300 for this month, right? So that's what you need to look at when you look at that report. So, all right. See, moving on. We do have 24 model year Explorer. That is let's see, unscheduled retail orders is about 174. Oh, by the way, Maverick order banks are open up. You want to place an order, you can. Again, use the kind of the layout of some of the things that I mentioned and placing that order, and thinking about maybe putting an EcoBoost Tremor would be a great order if you're looking for getting one scheduled pretty fast. And it's a pretty cool and fun little car to drive. All right. Back to 24 model year Explorer. Currently 174 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. Not too many. Last week it was 669. So you can see that they scheduled most of the retail orders. They're estimated to produce 9,800 units in March. And order banks are open up. Don't want to forget mentioning that for the Explorer, but will probably close quickly. So place that order if you want one. They are scheduled for main commitment, so that could be some stock as well as retail orders. If there's, well, of course, there's only 174 retail orders in there. They'll try to get those scheduled first. But then also, if a dealer has allocations and no retail orders, they'll give them stock orders. They're scheduled for the weeks of March 4th through March 25th. Limited availability for the following options: the 2.3 liter EcoBoost engine, the 3.0 liter EcoBoost engine as well. The Platinum version, the Trail version. They said Trail version. I think they mean the Timberline edition right there. Again, sometimes the factory uses different terminologies than we do. 21-inch bright machine face aluminum wheel with a luster nickel painted pockets. That's the one that's standard on the Platinum, which is probably why the Platinum is restricted, as well as the 10.1 LCD portrait style touchscreen, which you'll find in the tech package. That's limited, as well as the ST high performance package as well. Exhaust availability for the base, the limited, the King Ranch, the ST line, and also the wheel, the premium, the 20-inch premium painted aluminum wheel. It's optional on the XLT 202A. That is standard on the limited 300 and 301A, as well as a 20-inch 10-spoke aluminum wheel with the King Ranch center caps. That's standard on the King Ranch. So again, we see some availability issues on some of these. Not sure what that leaves, because base version looks like XLT non 202A might not be a bad idea, or a 202 with the stock wheel would be a great one as well if you're looking to get one scheduled. So there you go. All right. Next is the 24 model year Expedition. Currently 611 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. Last week there were 772, so they scheduled about 160 of the retail orders, maybe some stock ones. Order banks are open up. Current production for March is supposed to be 2,500 units, so not a lot for Expedition. They are scheduling this week for main commitment, so they're willing to schedule some stock ones to help dealers fulfill their allocations. Scheduling for the weeks of March 4th through March 25th. To be selected for scheduling, the Platinum will require the 22-inch wheel, and XLT will require the optional 20-inch wheel. A couple different wheel options required to get those XLT and Platinum scheduled. New availability: rear entertainment system is available for scheduling. So that was one of those that said was not. It is back now. So this is where parts come in, and then they could start scheduling them again. So this is a situation where they were able to get parts now for the rear entertainment system. So now you can go ahead and get those scheduled. So put those on your orders if you want them. Exhaust availability for the ST, and it says XL in here. It's the STX trim. And then, or actually it'd be the XL without the STX package. And then also limited version is also exhaust availability. So there we go. Again, order banks are open up for the 24 model year Expedition. 24 model year Mach-E, 40 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. Last week it was 30, so they gained, well, they probably scheduled some, but gained some there. They're planning to produce 4,400 units in the month of March. Order banks are open up for the Select, the Premium, and now the GT. You can place that GT order. The order banks are open up. Not sure if they're scheduling GTs yet. We'll talk more about that later. They are going to be scheduling main commitments, so stock as well as retail orders for the weeks of February 26th through March 25th for the Mach-E. No major constraints on the Mach-E. All right, next is the 24 model year Super Duty. There's currently 20,629 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. So now Maverick has beat that one. Now it's below the Super Duty. Last week was 23,213 unscheduled retail orders. So they did get about 3,000 scheduled. They are estimated to build 18,255 vehicles in the month of March. And again, sometimes you might see some, like this week, probably start seeing some stock ones get scheduled if they're looking for the certain configuration that there's not retail orders for that dealer. Order banks are open up for the 24 model year Super Duty. Go ahead and place those orders. Scheduling for this week for the Kentucky truck plant is the weeks of they're scheduling for the production weeks of February 12th through March 18th, and for the Ohio assembly plant for the weeks of February 26th through March 18th. And so there are two different plants that make the Super Duty. Most of the Kentucky truck plants are your retail orders, usually your ones with beds on them. Ohio usually is chassis cabs and trucks without beds and that kind of thing. I believe that's the breakdown on that. So there you go. They are needing XL regular or crew cabs with the 6.8 liter engines without the standard heavy duty alternator and the fifth wheel gooseneck hitch prep package to continue building in Ohio. And I think that's in Ohio, maybe even Kentucky. So F250s and 350 XLs. So if you have one of those orders, that would really help you get scheduled pretty quick. Limited availability for the following: F550 chassis cab, the 6.7 liter Power Stroke diesel engine, and the high output Power Stroke diesel engine. And we'll talk about where that says limited availability. It's not exhausted 100%. It's just a very small, low number. The fuel tank that's included in the 6.7 liter Power Stroke diesel engine on the XL, XLT, or Lariat, F350, 450, 550, and F600s. So there you go. The 65E, which is a 18-inch machine and painted aluminum wheel that's included in the trimmer off-road package. So that might hinder a trimmer package getting scheduled. I know there's some people out there with a platinum with a trimmer package. That's going to really be a struggle for you, especially since you probably have the high Power Stroke diesel engine as well, which is also on here too. So you have a couple things included on here. Also, the 64J wheel, the 17-inch forged polished aluminum wheel that's standard on the Lariat and Platinum F350. That's the wheel that's optional on the XL and XLT F350 as well. The 4x4 Dana axle that's optional on the F450, 550, and 600 is limited. The rear axle that's optional on the F350, 450, 600 dualies with the 6.7 diesel is also limited availability. And the Max Recline seats that's standard on the Limited and optional on the Lariat, King Ranch, and Platinum is also limited availability. So just know that if you have that, more than likely it might take a little longer to get scheduled. It's still showing for this week for the commodity constraint that the diesel, the high output is at 19.5%. Now that might change because usually the scheduling information is information that comes from the plant, and the commodity constraint is usually coming from Ford. So that's usually why there's sometimes a discrepancy there. But most everything should be good except for if you have a King Ranch Platinum Limited, those are going to just take longer. There's a lot more orders than what their capacity is. That's why it's taken so long. Trimmer package is actually within its capacity. About 7% of the 20,000 orders are trimmer. Their capacity is 10% each month. So that's actually, trimmer's not with the holdup. If you have like a Platinum with the trimmer, it's usually probably the Platinum and a high output. If you have that on there, that's holding that up. So, all right. Next is a 24 model year F-150. There's currently 4,333 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank, not counting Raptors. Last week it was 6,296. So they did get some scheduled. Estimated production is 31,588 for the month of March. Also, another 4100 Raptors. That's the 801 and 802A Raptors, and then another 1400 Raptor Rs, which is your 803A. Order banks are open up for the F-150, so place those orders. They are scheduling for the week of March 18th. This week, limited availability for the hybrid engine, the 3.5 liter engine, as well as the 18-inch chrome wheel, 18-inch gloss black wheel, and the 18-inch black painted aluminum wheel, as well as the LT 265/70 R18C black sidewall all-terrain tire. So those are the only ones that are constrained there. So, 5.0 looks good. 2.7 liter engine looks good if you have those. And then hopefully you have the optional 20-inch wheel on your any of your appearance packages, and you should be okay with that. So, all right. They are not mentioning F-150 Lightning right now. So I think they're pausing scheduling as well as pausing ordering right now for the F-150 Lightning. 24 model year Transit. They currently have 6,443 unscheduled retail orders in the order bank. Last week it was 6,200. So they gained a couple retail orders. Their estimated production for March is 4,500 units. Order banks are open up for the Transits. They are scheduling for the weeks of March 11th and the week of March 18th. That's saying here we encourage our dealers to submit orders with a 3.5 PFDI V6 engine with remaining allocations. And then also opportunity to schedule trail vans with remaining allocation. And then limited availability for the electric motor, the E-Transit, also for the passenger van bus with all roof heights, the digital rear view camera, which is option 90C, as well as the wheel well liner. For the front, that's option 15C, and the dark palazzo gray cloth option 90 or 21Q. Sorry, 21Q for that option. Those are the limited availability options for the Transit. All right, so there's all that scheduling information right there. All right, now we can open it up for questions. If you have questions, hopefully I can help answer those.
Okay. All right. So you went over the Maverick spreadsheet, exhausted availability on the tires, aka all tires that Excel use, yet Ford's still scheduled roughly 1,000 XLs for March.
Yeah, again, it's exhausted availability, not no availability.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to keep that in mind. They're just, a lot of times you got to remember they make these lists. They've been making these lists for dealers for years. And mainly because for years, you didn't have a lot of retail orders. It was mostly stock. And so these notes are to just let dealers know, hey, if you're putting in a stock order or something like that, they're always going to try to schedule those retail orders. But for a stock order, it's just kind of giving dealerships some information to say, these are things that, if you have an allocation that you need to use, try to stay away from these things so you can fulfill that allocation. They're going to always try to fulfill those retail orders, and they're going to look at those first before any stocks. Because I bet you there are some dealers out there that have all their retail orders. We're one of them. Well, we have retail orders, but there are some dealers that they have fulfilled all the retail orders at this point, but they're still getting allocations. I mean, the number one dealership in the country more than likely doesn't have a lot of retail orders, but they're going to still get 40, 50 allocations this month, and they're going to fulfill those with stock. Now, a lot of people out there are going to say that's not fair to me. I get that. I know how that works, but the way Ford works, and they've been doing this for years. I mean, look at F-150. You can look at about any other model and say they earned their allocations because of what they sold, right? I mean, heck, we sold 50 Mavericks last month. We deserve our allocations because we sold that many. If we don't have retail orders, we still deserve it because we're a dealership that's selling and turning the vehicles. They're going to give the vehicles, the inventory, to those dealers.
We have the customer base to sell the vehicles.
Yes.
So if you think about it that way, some of those dealers are smaller dealers. They pertain to a certain market area, and they don't go outside of that market area. So, we get a lot of Super Duty allocations, but one of the other dealers gets a lot of Bronco allocations.
Yep, we've had dealerships in the KC region that do not like us because we get a lot of Super Duty allocations, and they're like, why are they getting the allocations instead of me? Well, it's because we're selling them, because we took orders last year, this year, and the last couple years. And we told our farmers and our local customers, hey, we just need to place your order instead of you waiting for a stock one to show up, because we're not going to get one. So let's just go ahead and place your order. So we took orders during COVID and everything. That's why we gained the allocations that other dealerships are demanding, because they thought, all the Metro dealers thought, there's no way anybody's going to buy a truck without seeing it on your lot.
Like, and if you think about it, our market area is trucks, farmers, flat land, that type of thing. You go to Colorado, you're going to have a lot of off-roaders. You're going to have people wanting Bronco and things like that, where they're going off-roading, so they may get more allocations for the Bronco, whereas we get more Super Duties. It's all about what's your market area, what are you selling, what's your customer base. Our customer base is trucks, Maverick, Super Duty, F-150.
And I know that's frustrating for people that have a retail order and is waiting, and they have a small dealer, and maybe their dealer has more orders. I mean, that's just, that's the hard part. And that's why probably there are customers out there and people out there that are putting in multiple orders. And I can't blame you, on that, because how are you to know? Well, let me try. And then we had people at our dealership do the same thing. We have some of the Mavericks we have that came in, that customers did that. They placed 2 orders, and then their local dealer got it before we did. Right. And so sometimes they're like, I placed one with you because I know you're a higher volume for Maverick than my local dealer, but I also ordered with them. And because I've actually looked up private offers for people that have orders coming in, and they have 2 private offers because they put in 2 23 model year orders, and both carried over to 24.
Well, we also saw one guy had a 22 rollover order to 23, but then his 23 to 24 was with us. And we're so he ordered before with a different dealer and moved over to us, but didn't tell us. Okay, we don't mind that.
Yep. I helped a customer this week who their private offer was not showing up, and they couldn't find it, and they couldn't figure out why. And so I reached out, I got information from them, reached out to the brand manager, and come to find out it's because they placed their 23 order with one dealer and their 24 with a different. So Ford couldn't match up those. So that's why they didn't have that private offer in there. Well, they went ahead and loaded it in manually and gave him his private offer. Because they could then at that point could match it up, and make it work. So anyway, next question.
All right. Or was it? Ford has stated that some personnel working on production of the Lightning will be reassigned to the Bronco. Will the monthly production of Broncos actually increase?
We'll talk about that later.
I thought so.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that during the dealer news, just right after this segment. So stay tuned. It's going to be right after these questions. We'll talk about that. It's the first thing we're going to talk about
in dealer news.
In the dealer news.
All right. So Ghosting says 483 days since my Maverick order. No private offer certificate yet. Your dealer can look that up. You will not get an email. If you're waiting for an email, you won't get one.
They might be calling Ford marketing and they're not showing it. So yours is a situation where I just helped that other customer. So you may email us your information. I need your order number. I need everything. I mean, first of all, you're going to find out if your dealership did the COVP. Is it the same name? We had some that didn't show up, and it was because they had moved. So the address was different. And some of them it was because
different.
Well, we're human beings that are putting in these orders. So we may not put in the 24 order differently than the 23, and it will not match up because of the name. That's why when I actually search for certificate numbers, I actually want their email address, because I found out email addresses usually are pretty accurate. If you got the email from Ford on your 23 as well as the 24, then that means the email address will be right. And so there's a lot of times where I found certificates just by using the email address, because when I actually searched their name, I couldn't get it I couldn't find it. But putting the email address in, I found it. And I actually found another little way of doing it. I pulled my COVP list, and I know how I figured out after doing a couple that what the certificate numbers are supposed to be based off of. They're actually based off the authorization number from the COVP from your 23 order. So I figured that out. So I just started putting that in and finding almost 100% of our customers, because I knew that. And since we COVP'd in 23, they were all there. So
all right,
we were able to find them. So you might try a couple of those things, but your dealership has to do that. But if you send us, they're struggling, send it to us, and I will get it to the brand manager, because he was actually able to do that. Sometimes I got to manually load it.
Do you think all Broncos you have on order will be scheduled by the end of February? Depends
I
if
think so. I think so.
depends if Ford keeps pushing
We
it
have
back.
we have 12 allocations and we have like 10 or 11 orders. So I do think that almost all of them will get scheduled by the for our allocations that we have now.
Yep.
Because the configurations we haven't, I mean, like I said, they're not really constrained on anything, so they all should get scheduled.
Yeah. Will we get to the Lightning ordering? They're wondering
We,
when we
we
can put orders in.
okay, not yet. I've been told soon, but you know what? Not next Tuesday's, but hopefully the Tuesday after, I'll have some information.
Okay.
Because probably they're going to talk about it at the dealer meeting at NADA, and I'll give you what information that I can. But I'm sure they're going to let us know what's going on with that.
Yeah.
At NADA.
So Eddie, we kind of answered your question with our last little question that we answered. Why do you allow dealers to put in orders for things they have no allocations for, leaving the customer in limbo? Ford allows dealers to put in orders so that we have orders in there ready to go for when we get our allocations.
Yeah.
Because we don't know our allocation number until the beginning of the month.
Yeah, we don't always know it.
So like for Bronco, we don't know if we're going to get 4 Wild Tracks and 2 Black Diamond. We don't know what we're getting for that month, and we don't know what Ford is specifically scheduling. So by having all of our orders placed in our order bank, ready to go, when Ford goes to schedule, they have a lot to pick from. They have a good selection to pick from, and they can hopefully schedule all of our orders or as many as they can. Because some dealers have 2 weeks of scheduling. They'll go through 1 week and they won't schedule everything because the dealer doesn't have enough of what they're looking for. So then that dealership will go into a second week of scheduling to try and fulfill all of their allocations.
Mm-hmm.
So because
there's a lot of times they'll be like, okay, we couldn't schedule this because it wasn't the right configuration. So then we got to put a stock order in to fulfill that. Yes. Or because sometimes they will not carry those allocations over to the next month.
Yeah.
So it's either you
use the allocations,
you use the allocation or you lose it. So putting a stock order at least fulfills that, and then next month hopefully get that configuration scheduled.
Dealers will put orders in without having allocations because they may not have an allocation that they know of at that time, but the next month they could. So by having your order in there ready to go, it's waiting. It gets picked up. Eventually, it should get picked up and scheduled and produced.
The salespeople don't know. Like our salespeople have no clue really how many allocations we're going to get. That's usually management screens. They have an idea of how many allocations we're getting. And like we just found out, what was a couple of weeks ago, how many allocations we're going to get. We were like assuming we were going to get some Maverick allocations, and we got 0 because we have so many coming in to fulfill for what they think we normally can sell or would sell. So because of that, that's why they gave us a 0. So hopefully that changes next month. So, all
right. That's what I had for scheduling.
Yeah. Any other questions on that? Not that we're done with that. So if you have any more about that maybe we said something that triggered something else, another question for you, drop it down there. Of course, if you're watching the recorded version of this on Wednesday, then place them down in the comments and we'll try to respond to those as quickly as possible. Sometimes I get behind and I'm not able to respond right away, but we'll try to help you out the best we can. And this allocation system is difficult scheduling and figuring it all out. There's no, it's taken a long, I started really learning the allocation scheduling information when Maverick launched. It wasn't until then that I was trying to figure this all out, and I'm learning. And it's just when you think you have it figured out, it's like, okay, whatever.
Even then, like the scheduling notes where they give you like the percentages and all of that, you found out that you were even reading it wrong within the past year.
Yep.
And one of the higher ups actually gave you information on how to read that correctly. So
I was looking at those constraint lists the commodity constraint that you guys are seeing on like Maverick Truck Club and Bronco 6G and everything that everybody uploads, and they don't tell you what it all means. I was looking at that wrong. I was looking.
So you thought you had it figured out and
I could show this
correctly.
I got this. I can say I got this off Maverick Truck Club. because it's on there. We'll just say that's where I got this. But this sheet here, we're talking about these different columns, and that the left column is the U.S. capacity. So that's a percentage based on this month's. So 8,300 Mavericks are going to get built. Well, 55% of those will be hybrid, 45% will be EcoBoost, right? But then this next number, it looks like it's a negative or whatever, which actually it is in this case. That percentage for this column is based on the U.S. orders unscheduled, not based off of this over here. It's based off the U.S. order. So I actually had the brand manager explain that to me because I was looking at it incorrectly. So
even though he had been studying it and he was like, I think this is what it's saying, I'm explaining this every week, he then found out, oh, that's incorrect. So now you have the correct knowledge and you can share it, but it is confusing, like even for me.
And even to say, well, why does it say exhaust availability like we saw earlier, but yet they still scheduled 1,000 Excels? I don't. It's the scheduling notes come from the factory. The capacity sheet that comes from Ford. Headquarters. So it is two different places those sheets are coming from, and that's somebody asked me that. So
I get this. The amount of times I've had to explain the constraint list on the Bronco forums almost makes me wish people would stop leaking it. And it's true because they are leaking it and then leaving it. They don't explain it. They don't even try to explain it. They probably don't even really know how to read it themselves.
Yeah. And I'm not sure who. It's the same account on all of them on the forums.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and that is why Ford doesn't want these. It says confidential on that. It says they don't want to leak because, usually like Ford watches our live stream.
Yeah.
And because I've had a couple of times I've got my hand slapped. But what they don't mind if I explain it or I talk about it because I explain it. They don't want me showing any graphics or anything like that. But they know that I explain what it all means, so they don't. So
instead of just leaving it out there for you guys to see and not explaining, and then getting you guys in a tizzy, we explain it. We take the time, go through it, make sure. So RagnarCon, in that case, stop explaining it. Send them to the scheduling notes. Send them to the scheduling notes video. Tag his video.
Yeah. Well, the Maverick Truck Club, I actually posted because some people said that. And says, come over to live stream tonight and ask your questions, and I'll try to explain it the best I can and everything. And it's even sometimes it's not 100% clear for me, and I think I understand it. And it's not like it was just what was the auto show? Was it last year? It was one of the auto shows we were heading to that was like, oh, I didn't realize that. Yeah. And he said, and every region is different because, like he had said, it was an example that, like dealerships were trying to put their orders in and tell customers they couldn't place a hybrid order because they had too many, or an EcoBoost. Remember? And the example he had was people down in Texas not putting FX4. Well, not taking FX4 because of the sheet. Well, but down in Texas, most of the people don't have FX4, so you can go ahead and place FX4 because it wasn't going to be a constraint because
in your region.
So every region is a little different because of what, the different packages and everything.
Yeah.
And again, the schedule, the allocations are given based on within your region. So it's your sales volume within your region minus the formula of how many you have in stock, in transit, and in the system is what they call, which those are ones that are scheduled to be built. So that's the reason we got 0 Maverick this month was that we had 108, or we had like 10 Mavericks here, and then we had like 108 that were in transit. Like we're supposed to get 108 Mavericks this month, and then another 80 that were in the system that we were going to get next month or the month after. So because of that, they said, well, you normally sell about 40 a month. For the next so many months, this is how many you need. Well, we are already getting more than what we need, so that's why they gave us a 0.
Yeah.
Even though we have 38 retail orders in there, they gave us a 0. So anyway,
but
all right.
Yeah. So in the future, RagnarCon, when you see those get leaked, or anyone sees them get leaked, link the live stream or link the scheduling notes.
I should do a video just talking about it, and then just start just
throwing it
in there every time. As soon as it's posted that day, go boom. Don't forget, guys, this is how this actually. This is
Like, do one
how that
that's like
reads."
an overall explanation of how it works and not just like,
Ragnacon's really good
specifics.
at explaining things, so he should do
Yes.
that and just save a document and copy paste every week. I get it. Anyway, yeah, that's. I mean, sometimes I'm like, I want to help people, and so putting those in there is great, but putting them in there without explaining is not good. So anyway, we've covered that. All right. Anything else? You said nothing there. So
No.
all right.
The
So
rest pertains to something later on, or we'll answer in Q&A.
all right. Well, then let's do some fun stuff here. So for dealer news updates, don't really have a lot of things that Ford shared with us as dealer communications, but Ford Media put out a lot of things in the last week. A lot of stuff happening. One of them is on the Bronco and the Ranger in the plant. So I do have the information from Ford Media that Ford adds a third crew. Now we're going to talk about what that really means to meet demand for Bronco and Ranger and reduces the F-150 Lightning production. So I'm going to quote this right out of the Ford Media news bulletin that they sent out. Ford Media. Never actually anybody can access this, media.ford.com. But Ford Motor Company announced plans to create nearly 900 new jobs as a part of the new third crew. Not third shift, people, third crew. It says at the Michigan Assembly Plant in Wayne to meet demand for the popular Bronco and Bronco Raptor and the all-new Ranger and Ranger Raptor. Say in addition to nearly 900 net new hires, the new 1,600-person third crew at Michigan Assembly Plant will also include approximately 700 employees from Ford's Rouge complex in Dearborn who applied for job openings. It says Ford is adding the manpower this summer, so it's supposed to be this summer, to support planned future volume increases for vehicle lines assembled at the plant. And it says in here, Michigan Assembly Plant will transition to producing vehicles 7 days a week versus 5 currently. So right now they're doing 2 shifts, 5 days a week right now. So they're going to go to 7 days a week and still 2 shifts. So it says with 3 crews working 2 shifts. So they're not adding. I think some people, I know that automotive news, they first said it was going to be a third shift, and it's a third crew, but they're still only doing 2 shifts, but they're going to increase to 7 days a week. And with that, they said also about the F-150 Lightning, and they said, what they want to do is they shift what they need, the demand in production based on demand. So with the Lightning, it says approximately 1,400 employees will be impacted at the Rouge Electric Vehicle Center transitions to 1 shift effective April 1st. Roughly 700 will transfer to Michigan Assembly Plant, and the others will be placed in roles at the Rouge Complex or other facilities in Southeast Michigan, or take advantage of the special retirement incentive program agreed to in the 2023 Ford UAW contract. A few dozen employees could be impacted at component plants supporting F-150 Lightning production, depending on the number of employees who apply for the special retirement incentive program. So anyway, so it looks like there are shifting some. So they're going to go down to 1 shift for F-150 Lightning because I feel like that's all they need to fulfill the orders. I think they're almost trying to go to not doing. Originally, they were like, okay, they made dealers take they made us take stock orders for Lightnings, Mach-E as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're realizing that dealers aren't liking that because we had a bunch, as if you've watched any of the videos I've done, we had a bunch of Lightnings and we had to significantly discount them, like $7,500 below MSRP plus the $7,500 tax credit just to get those sold. And now we're down to like 1 or 2. We have an XLT and a Platinum left, but we've sold pretty much all of them, but we had to significantly discount those to sell them. And those were all of the stock ones that Ford made us take. So I think they're realizing that, and they're realizing, okay, maybe we need to be to a place order, produce type of scenario. So I think that's why they're cutting it down to one shift there. And what was that question that we had about this earlier? Was it just asking that, just a general?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. Now, next, another thing off of the media, Ford Media, was last week I talked to you guys about the launch event that they did. Well, prior to the launch event, they came out on last Wednesday with some pictures and video of a new Lightning that they're making, partnering with RTR. So let me see if I can get this up here. Hold on. Give me a second. Here we go. All right. So you guys should be able to see that screen. Oh, wait. Now you should be able to see that screen. Oh, here. Let's get rid of this. We don't need this camera anymore. All right. So there you go. All right. So we do have this, the Lightning. This is called Switch Gear. You can see it up there, the banner on there. So Switch Gear. So this here was in conjunction with RTR. Sarah, we saw this. Okay. So when we were at RTR, this was under a tarp, and they says, "Yeah, I can't show you that right now. That's going to be for a future launch here pretty soon." This was what was under there. We can see the outline. I looked at the picture that I had taken. I'm like, that's what was under there. Was this right here? So RTR was working with them, and we were that close to it. Anyway, so they designed and built this in collaboration with RTR vehicles and inspired by the F-150 RTR Ultimate Fun Haver project back in 2016. But they said they designed an F-150 Lightning switch gears custom exterior carbon bodywork with a Ford Performance 2024 livery and underpinned it with off-road upgrades to take F-150 Lightning where it needs never been. So they came up with the word switch gear as basically they can switch from on-road to off-road is why they came up with that phrasing. Anyway, so to manage the off-road terrain, though, the suspension on the F-150 switchgear named, like I said, for its off-road capabilities, but its performance on the asphalt as well. We'll use a Fox here. Go through these pictures here. I'm talking about this. You can kind of see some of the pictures there. Looks pretty cool. A lot of people are calling this the electric Raptor. Kind of looks like it, really. There you go. So under here, you do have the, we'll use a Fox 3-inch diameter internal bypass shock absorbers plus unique front and rear bumpers to improve approach and departure angles. Kind of saw that here, right there. You kind of see that right in that picture. So it looks pretty cool. All right. And you can kind of see those shocks right there. So the truck features custom independent double wishbone suspension at the front and a multi-link independent suspension at the rear with coilover shocks, stabilizer bar, and custom control arms. So pretty cool. All right. And then there's that bumper. So you kind of see that. So switchgear has carbon composite front fenders, both bedside views, you can kind of see, or bedsides, and rear bumper cover. The steel fabricated rock rails and front skid plate are added to ensure the vehicle is prepared for rough off-road terrain. Limit straps, actually I had that over here. Or do I have it? No, I don't have a picture of that.
So is this a package by RTR?
I don't, they didn't really, they said it was going to be a demonstrator.
Okay.
So I don't
know if it's going to be
I don't know if it'll be a production
package.
RTR package
Okay.
or not.
So
I
this
hope so.
because someone said it seems like they can't even schedule regular Lightning orders, let alone special versions. Well, this is an RTR package that they've put together.
Yeah, RTR, you could actually take your Lightning, drop it off to them, and they could put it on, or a RTR dealer could put it on, possibly. But you can see this is like, if you know RTR, if you know RTR, remember when we saw the race cars? So they actually had fenders like this that they produced, that they made at the RTR plant and lab. And that's basically those fenders. It looks like it's just kind of put onto the side of the fender almost. But it will have, did I go through the wheels, the tires yet? So there's some nice light bars in that, the bumper there. You can see they flared out fenders. Right, front and rear right there, which is pretty cool.
I like the look of it because it's like streamlined in the front, and then in the back I like that.
That streams RTR all the way right there.
Yeah,
there's those limiter straps, right?
Those Fox shocks.
It mentions that. And and then they're Fox shocks with reservoir. So in the front,
Oh,
so instead of trying to harness it underneath there, that allow room, they actually came through the front area and
I mean,
placed it
you
in there on
have
the
the
front.
room there.
You have
Why
it.
not use it?
So up here, you can adjust the reservoir for different
Why
off-road
not use it?
terrain.
Then you're not getting on the ground to adjust your reservoirs.
So there's the RTR wheel. It's a B-lock wheel, Nitto Ridge Grappler, 37-inch tire, and then also, of course, unique chase rack right there with the fun
Spare.
haver strap down there to keep that down. Now they will. They did say this is going to be at. Oh, and then look at that. There are some images of them racing, so check out the interior. They didn't really mention the interior seats, but they did.
Oh my
They did take people
gosh.
on rides, media rides. Yeah, why didn't we get? Why did we not get? We need to get media access to these things. But they had people there. You can kind of
I
see
want to
that.
go for a ride.
Yeah, we just need to go
That
down.
looks like fun.
Let's just go down to RTR Lab again, and Vaughn will give us a ride. Check that out.
Let's drive your Bronco down.
So that was a drift like brake
Yeah.
on that.
Why not?
That's crazy.
Why not
Anyway,
giant.
so it won't take long for us to see this in action. It's going to be at King of Hammers this weekend.
Ooh.
King of Hammers, it says the 25th, which is actually in 2 days. So hopefully we need to talk to Brian and Melissa. Get us pictures. Get us videos. Anyway, all right.
Oh, and you know that they're most likely going to get pictures already, but send them to us, please.
There you go. So there's that.
Because I know Brian watches this like the day after.
Yeah.
He doesn't join us live, but
we want pictures. We want video. Please. Send it to us. All right.
Maybe some video of it jumping, or I don't know.
All right. Next is this bad boy right here. All right. So Ford opened up the order banks by introducing a new package for the GT. So GT, of course, order banks were open up for the Select and the Premium, but now we have the GT order banks opened up, and they opened it up with a new bronze appearance package for this year. You might need to go to a different view because you're not in the camera. There we go. All right.
Oh, so, there I am.
Yeah. All right. I mean to cut her off there, but all right. You got to lean in. So this in here, this bronze appearance pack is available on the GT. There's another one that they don't really talk about too much. We're going to talk about that in a second. But bronze appearance packages include some, of course, a 20-inch. Here's kind of some initial pictures of it. But there you go, a 20-inch Sinister bronze painted aluminum wheel, which also is available on the Premium. Actually, it might be a 19-inch, but only the wheel is available on the Premium. You got to go to the GT to get the whole package. So you're going to see that. Notice the body-colored fender flares on those, and then the painted on the bottom, painted black, part of the GT. But also your outline in bronze on your badging on the doors. The Mach-E E4X badging, as well as the GT outline on the back as well on there. And then, of course, that front grille area. Not really a grill. Insert.
That's
grill insert.
That's pretty.
So there you go. So that looks pretty nice. And this will be available in Shadow Black, Star White, Tricoat, and the new Eruption Greens. This is a new color for this year.
So only those colors because of that.
Because it wouldn't
fake insert.
Because it wouldn't look
good
on any other color, probably. So Star White, Shadow Black, and Eruption Green. It says, I believe it was available in some other colors. Well,
I think we sold the RTR Bronco Sport.
I have some information. Anyway, watch my video. I'm doing a video. Just watch the video. I'll give you all the highlights. But there you go. Bronze appearance package looks good in that.
I do like it.
Yeah, it looks really good in that. So one thing I did not upload. Let me upload this real quick. Where's the media? Here, right here. I got a clip here. I want to upload. So while that's uploading, we'll talk about. So one of the things I didn't really talk too much about. See if that'll upload. Oops, 2 files too large. Present button at the bottom. Share the videos. Okay, so maybe it won't let me. Here. Okay. All right. So they did, of course, GT is open, and some other things that part of the GT that's now included. So they don't have the GT Performance package they did away with for this year, but they made several things as part of that package that are already standard on the GT for this year. So the McArthur dampening suspension for optimal handling performance is now standard equipment on the GT, as well as it says performance focused components, including a 385 millimeter front rotors with red painted Brembo branded front brake calipers are standard equipment now
That's
on
a
the
mouthful.
GT. The Ford Performance front seats now with a 10-way power driver's seat is standard equipment as well. So those are now standard on the GT. So you don't need a GT Performance package because you're getting those things included. And it does say that the bronze appearance package with the extended range GT all-wheel drive will come in at $60,990. That's probably before destination delivery. But one thing they did not mention here and didn't really highlight is now not only did that open it up for the GT, but also it opened it up for the new Rally edition, which is a package on the GT. So we need a eruption green plus bronze package GT. All right, go ahead and take that off. I'm gonna show this.
Take what off?
Take that comment off.
Oh, sorry.
There we go. All right, so Ford didn't really make a big deal about this. I mean, it was released at the auto shows and everything. I did a video on that. So here's kind of that video. So the GT with the Rally edition, right? This is a late availability. Probably why they didn't mention it is because it's a late availability for this. But you are getting, of course, the nice high gloss white. Of course, this is a video from the auto show that I did. So you can see those wheels, 19-inch wheels with the black printed graphics on the side, the Cross Climate 2 all-season performance tires, black painted steel roof. You can see the black painted roof behind me, and the aluminum underbody protection shields front and rear. So underbody protection. The Rallycross tuned McArthur dampening suspension. So upgrade from the GT McArthur. Front recovery hook on there. They do that so that you can transport it to different races. Sport pedals inside, the Rally Sport Drive mode. This is going to be fun. The Mustang Mach-E GT Performance upgrade as well. And then you get the front splitter, and it's in dark carbonized gray, the rear spoiler, the grill shield as well with the fog lights in them, with the LED fog lights in the grill. That's pretty cool too. Door, wheel, roof, and bumper trim and carbonized gray, hood and deck lid stripes, everything. So pretty cool little vehicle here. I actually want white stripes. I'll tell you why in a second. The Mach-E Rally door graphics, Oxford white, steering wheel, door, and instrument interior trim. Instrument panel, interior trim, Ford Performance front seats with exclusive debossed logos in Oxford white seat trim. So there you go. Yeah, pretty cool. I ordered one of these. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
I ordered one of these.
Which
late availability, so I don't know when I'm going to get it, but I ordered one. I ordered it because I don't know if I'm going to take it. Mm-hmm. So I ordered it in Grabber Blue, but the reason I want white stripes is because I think white stripes will look good on the Grabber Blue with that, but it won't come that way. So we had someone else in dealership that ordered the yellow, which is only available in the Rally edition. But yeah, so there you go. There's the video from when I did at the auto show in Detroit Auto Show. You can check that in playlists on our YouTube channel if you want to see it.
Now, they said that they had the Mach-E Rally at Rebel Rally.
Yes, it was.
But
it was.
It was.
Yes, you went. Yeah. You weren't at the off rodeo, were you?
No.
Okay, so we actually found out it wasn't a production rally. It was a GT that they made.
Basically.
They basically did a software update to make it GT, to give it the performance of the rally. So basically, they take the GT and they recalibrate it. They do some calibration and some software updates to give it the performance. So we're talking 600, and I think it said 650 pound-feet of torque on this.
Mm.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun.
So,
Anyway,
but
so I got one
anyways,
coming. And you know what's great is I ordered one. It's a late availability, so who knows how long it'll be. It could be this summer.
Right.
But what's great about that is I lock in all the nice
Incentives.
lease rates that are going on now. I lock those in as long as it's a 24, it doesn't go to 25.
Yeah.
I will lock those in.
Yep.
So lock it in your
But
incentives, people.
my point with that is they basically had a version of the Mach-E rally at Rebel Rally, and it
Yeah.
kept up pretty well.
It did. They were in like second place for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's off-road. I mean, rally, it really wasn't made to be an off-road vehicle, but
No.
more of a rally race,
Vehicle.
rally
Yeah.
vehicle. And man, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I ordered one. And you
So-
guys know that I am
So
not
if you
against
take
EV.
it-
I like EV, and this is a vehicle that would
So
be
if you take it, can I run Rallycross?
Rebel Rally.
No, not Rebel Rally, Rallycross.
I mentioned
like
in my
ML Culpepper.
So
like
I mentioned in my lot walk the ML Culpepper because Derek said that he wants to go to a rallycross training
Mhm.
course. And I said, I'll just bring in one of my members. He goes, what are you talking about? I says, remember the one I told you about that does rallycross racing? I bet you if you paid him enough, he could come in and do something for a couple of us if we wanted. Make it a sales contest.
I want to do that. Can you make sure that I can go? Because I think I would enjoy Rallycross. You're going fast. You're going.
Anyway,
I'd enjoy it.
all right. To be honest,
Start.
off-roading is my speed, where I go a little bit slower, but learning trails.
And I don't mind that, but at the
I
same
think the
time,
trails is a little bit my speed. There you go. All right. Anyway, there you go. So the only order guide update for this week was the GT got updated. And by the way, Ford does not have build and price on the website yet for 24 Mach-E, but you can find it on our website if you want. We have it on our website. In fact, like even Jeff was getting a thumbnail for me for the GT video, and he was doing some of the updating our select and premium thumbnails for our videos. And so I said, yeah, we have build and price on our website, so you can see what the prices are. I'm like, he says, we do? And I said, yeah, we even have the GT. So go to our website if you're wanting to know that information, if you're wanting to see what it is, since it's not on Ford's website. But we have it on our Lightning too, and it's not on Ford's website either. So, all right. We got one recall, and probably wouldn't affect most people, but let's cover it. All right. So this recall affects is a safety recall 23S36 for certain 2014 to 2016 Transconnects. So again, it does affect 109,869 vehicles. But there you go. Probably more globally than in the U.S. But there you go. So this is the actual release. There was an advance notice back in July that I probably didn't cover. So this is official information now, almost 6 months later. So the reason for this safety recall is in the affected vehicles, the front door latches have a pawl spring tab, and I'm saying PAWL. I'm not saying that right or not. Please correct me. I like being able to say these things right. So please correct me if I'm wrong. Thank you, Tim Brungerman, for fixing how I was saying Azure to Azure. It's Azure Gray, not Azure Gray. So thank you for correcting me on that.
I've been saying it right the whole time.
Yes, and I was saying it differently. So
I don't let people correct me into saying things differently when I know I'm correct. I learned that from my mom.
Anyway, so the front door latches have a pawl spring tab that may break. This condition will typically prevent the door from latching. If the customer is able to latch the door after repeated attempts to shut the door, there is potential the door may unlatch while driving, increasing the risk of injury. Yeah, I would say. Anyway, so you can take it in your dealer. You can arrange a mobile repair at the owner's location. They can pick your vehicle up and re-deliver it back to you. It's called pickup and delivery. Or you can take it to the dealership, and now they have repairs. They know the latch date codes and all that kind of stuff. So you'll probably get a letter. One of the letters going out the week of January 31st. Letters are going out to customers that would be on this recall. So there you go. There's that. That's it. That's just the one.
All right.
No others. Had some Lincoln vehicles, but
Okay.
that's it. All right.
Should we head to Q&A or on my mind or
On my mind, because I
On my
don't really have an
mind.
is it true, so we'll bypass that. All right. For on my mind is my birthday today, and I thought, okay, think of birthday gifts or presents or wish list, right? I thought, well, let's talk about my Bronco and what are some things I'd like to get on the Bronco. So 24 in 2023, I had a lot of things to the Bronco. I mean, I spent a lot of money. I had the Roush package already on my 21 Ford Bronco. For those you don't know, I have a 21 Bronco, 4-door, cloth top, Big Ben, with the rear locker and upfitter switches in the mid package. That's pretty much the 2.3 liter automatic. So that was how it's configured. Added the Roush package to it. And we put the 35-inch tires on it. So a lot of people thought I had Sasquatch package when I didn't because of the 35-inch tires and all that. And you can't really tell because it wasn't that much different in height from that. We added a lot of things to it. I don't like the Big Ben, a lot of the Big Ben stuff. I went with Big Ben because of some of the things into it. Otherwise, I like Black Diamond. So it's got a Black Diamond grill. It's got the rock rails on the side, OEM ones that I put on it. Added some hood struts. I added Rough Country brand. I added the tailgate table. I added a Rough Country support thing on the back for the 35-inch tire. Some IAG rear soft top strut, which is awesome. Interior dome lights. I had a bunch of little $150 items on there. And then, of course, at the end of the year is when I added the Rough Country shocks and to that with the reservoir. So upgraded it. Picture of the Bronco. I don't have it on here. Do I have it somewhere? I have it somewhere. Probably. Oh, here. I can show him a sticker.
It's not an exact.
Not exactly the same.
It also doesn't have the lift countered into that.
No, but it's you really can't tell. But there's what it kind of. That's pretty darn close to what it looks like. Oh, towards the end of the year, not only did I upgrade and got the Rough Country shocks, but I also got the modular front bumper finally,
which is not in the picture.
Which is not in the picture, but won't look too much different. With the brush guard on it, which I'm not a big fan of, but became a big fan of it later. Definitely a benefit to that if you live on dirt roads and have deer crossing in front of you. But so I added those, and I will say this: I'm a believer of Rough Country. There's a lot of people out there that will just curse Rough Country and say Rough Country is a bad company and such. But don't forget FabTech. I think it's FabTech, right? I think they bought out Rough Country. Yeah. So we have different quality now for Rough Country. And I will say everything I have of Rough Country has been really good quality, including their cooler. I have that. But I'm a fan of it. I mean, if you're wanting to, and for me, I don't have a lot of money to afford like the big expensive shocks and everything. Like I actually was going to put Bilstein, and I was like, okay, well, shoot, for half the cost, I can get the Rough Country, and I get the reservoir shocks, and I can adjust it when I want to. Stop, pull off, air down, adjust that down a little bit, and have a lot more articulation in those shocks and everything, and in clearance. And I tell you, the first time going off road with them, they work pretty well, and that can save you some money and still get a good pair of shocks. And we'll keep testing those, and I'll let you know how we feel about that. So
the thing about the brush guard is some people say it's a brush guard, some say it's a deer guard, some say it's a cattle guard. Yeah. Cattle guard's what I hear the most around here. So
we see that that bar that goes in front of the grill as something like a lot of times they'll call it cattle guard or whatever. And kind of a grill guard is what I look at it, because it's kind of in front of the grill.
And that's the most accurate description, because some people can say it's a deer guard, it's a brush guard, it's a
I don't know what kind of brush you're guarding there, but I was like, I'm sorry, but if your grill can't handle a little bit of brush, you got a problem.
But here's the thing. If you call it a grill guard, then it encompasses all of those situations. It's protecting your grill. It's a grill guard.
Around here, F-150s, we see farmers put grill guards, what we call them, on a lot of their trucks. And a lot of it's, to kind of, is to kind of protect it from deer and such.
Deer.
I don't know how much it'd hold up to a deer going too fast, but anyway, like I said, I'll probably remove it during the summer.
Bar.
Yeah, bull bar. Bull bar's another one that I hear. Anyway, but yeah, those are some of the upgrades I've done. But now, after doing some off-roading, one of the things that I want to get, hopefully before Tennessee, got to do my taxes first and see how much I owe the government before I can afford that. But I want to get a winch, and just like with some of the others, I added the shocks, I added some other things from Rough Country. I think I'm going with the Rough Country winch on the front. So with the mounts, and they have one with the LED light integrated into it. I don't know if I could pull that up or not.
So while you're doing that, I'll talk about what I thought you need. Something that you could use as a gift from someone else, a recovery kit.
I have a recovery kit. Got that from my Roush package, included a recovery kit.
Right, but you don't have like the recovery boards.
You know what I wanted for Christmas? You remember I told you at the auto show, at SEMA.
Yes, but I tried to find it and I couldn't find it.
I want that little toolkit.
I told Jolie, I was like, this is what Dad wants. We could not find it. That specifically comes with that package.
Yeah, that's
you can't find it anywhere.
All right, let me look for this winch. When I find it, I think this is it. Wait, I want the whole kit and caboodle.
Yes, Gator said tech. If you become a member, you get to see Tim's Bronco more often. He shows it on the lot walk occasionally. Every Saturday that Barbara doesn't have weekend travel plans.
So last week, funny story. So for the members, they'll think this is funny, but so last week I did my lot walk, and I talked about how I had the Bronco. Well, right after I did my lot walk, she called and said, "Hey, I'm switching you out. I got your Maverick here. I'm taking the Bronco. I'm going to pick up Jaden. Jaden really likes riding in the Bronco.
I'm sure. You need to get Will in there. He hasn't put Redden in it yet.
And yeah, so they enjoyed it. Okay, so can I share this?
On one of these Sundays, you and Mom need to take Will and take him for a little drive with Jaden.
Yeah. Where is this? Here we go. Takes me a little while. There we go. So there is, cut you off again. There we go. So there is Rough Country. They have a winch. And so that's one of the ones I'm looking at, but they actually have where's it at? They have because you need a mount as well. I have to find out where it's at, but they have a mount as well.
I'll be right back.
Because you got to mount it to the bumper. Oh man, where's that at? Here, is this it? Don't know if this is it. This might be it. Okay, so this is it right here. And so see this open area, you can put a light in there. So it can come where you can get it with or without the light. When you don't get the light, they have a black piece that goes on there. So you can kind of see there you go. You can kind of see what that looks like now. So you got it basically mounts there. What I like about this is it doesn't change your tow hooks on the front from your modular front bumper. And so I can place it right in there and you can see it fits right inside the brush guard, right? So it mounts on there, but then also it's showing the sensors. I don't have sensors on my vehicle, but then it gives you this light. So that I actually add addition. I do not have fog lights on mine right now. So that'd give me some lights on the front as well. So I'm kind of thinking of this little kit right here. So it's $209 for that. And then $500 for the other. So yes, Niles, if he's still in here, I plan to order this at some point, but that's on my wish list. And I also help out other people this way too. So there you go. In fact, I could have helped you the other day when you got stuck out here in the lot. If I had a winch, I could have went over there and pulled you off.
Did I ever tell you why I got stuck?
Yeah.
There was a giant pile of snow that I went over, and I didn't realize it was that big.
Yeah. Anyway, so there you go. I want to get that. And then there was something else I was thinking. What else is on my list? Oh, graphics. I want to get graphics for the Bronco too. And at some point, I do want the fog lights as well. I want to do something with some fog lights. I don't know if I want to go with rough country or not, but probably gonna wait for Supercell and see IAG has some lights and see if they'll buy them from them and get them installed while I'm there. Anyway, I had this winch. I could probably win an award at one of the events again. We'll see. Anyway, there you go. So that's on the wish list right there. I still have the IAG cargo lights and cup holders I need to install. I need to install those, but there you go. That's my next. Hopefully, that's my next big purchase right there. I keep saying I'm done, and then I keep buying more stuff. So who knows?
No, recovery kit. Do you have like tow ropes?
Rough country. Or I
Okay.
mean, the Roush kit comes with gloves. It comes with the recovery. It's because
have a
recovery is different than tow. So tow does not
Right.
not give.
Right.
This is a recovery.
Right.
Yep.
Do you have a shovel?
No, and I don't have max tracks either.
That's what you need. That's what I mean.
So I do have a gift card that I got for Christmas for extreme terrain, and everything I wanted to get on there was rough country stuff. And since we're a rough country dealer, we get a discount. I'm like, why would I do that? So, but I also
fallen for the trap. Yes, he has.
something else that I want is the generator, the little kind of like a generator box. So you don't need to go and find a campsite with outlets with an electrical. You can go primitive sites and then have that to charge your devices overnight and everything. So looking to get one of those. Probably gonna use my gift card for that. So
I think Rough Country should give you a gift certificate for your birthday.
yes, I would like rough country. I mean, you need a. I've done some videos on it.
Yeah, they need to sponsor you. See you all tomorrow morning to pick up my Maverick. We will see you tomorrow morning.
Is that tomorrow?
Yeah.
I was thinking, oh yeah, it's
tomorrow's
24th.
the 24th.
So it's tomorrow and Thursday we have people coming.
Yes.
So, all right. Anyway, all right. I don't have any rants. I don't know if I've got to tell you that I think I'm about done doing the rants because I post those separately on my own channel and I'm getting roasted in the comments. People are just bad mouthing me. So I probably may stop doing. I'll do the rants on here. I just probably won't do them a separate video.
Separate.
And I kind of
But it won't be a goal to have a rant each week.
No, if something is on my mind, I'll probably talk about it. But yeah.
Yeah.
Did you try a cheesecake? I saw you tried
did.
it while I was doing scheduling notes.
I can smell them. They smell delicious.
Well, I keep eyeing them over here. All right. Any questions when you go?
Yeah.
Oh, here. Wait. Let me flip up the Q&A.
So I'll start with ones that I can answer so you can enjoy your cheesecake. What are the extra options that will come with the blue freewheeling? Will it come with a tow hitch, heavier suspension? Does it have more options than the Badlands Bronco Sport? Will it have dual exhaust? Does it come with turbocharge option? So it's going to be a lot like your regular sport freewheeling package. It's mainly an appearance package.
We saw that at SEMA.
Yes, and that's why she's asking about it. From what I could tell at SEMA, it's basically taking what you see in the freewheeling package and changing it blue. You get different wheels. Instead of them being pocketed colors, you now have color on the outside of it, on the front fascia instead of in the pockets. And that's going to be blue. You're going to get the ombre blue stripes, blue accent around the letters instead of red.
Are you listing that off on something?
In my head.
Oh.
But I'm also looking at it right here on Ford's website.
Because I think I took a picture of it from SEMA.
They also have the graphics package, the door handles. Let's see, the grill lettering. Oh, the roof will be a painted shadow black roof. And that's pretty much it. It is an appearance package. Oh, in the blue freewheeling, didn't it? Oh, it has optional interior.
The seats.
The seats. So you have an optional interior with that. Let's see.
The wheel. Stripes.
So that interior, it's heated bucket seats, 6-way manual driver, 4-way manual passenger. and it's going to be colored to match the rest of the theme.
That one I did not take a picture of the actual
Well,
window
and-
sticker
Yeah.
like I did on the Broncos, the ORV.
Yeah. Well, and if
I didn't on that
I mean,
one.
if you're looking at this and it's based off of the other freewheeling, it has red accents on the dash and side panel, the door panels. Those are red. You might see those in blue, or they may not make those colored.
So that's a Ford performance package that we should be able to get through once available through aftermarket. And they said in 2024, but we don't know
when.
Yeah.
They haven't added it to their
So
website.
it won't come with a tow hitch. The vehicle that we did it on had a hitch.
Right. So
it's basically an appearance package.
Yeah, it is an appearance package solely. So you're not going to see it with
it can
extra things.
It can be put on any of your Broncos, other than freewheeling, of course, or black appearance package. But in Badlands, Outer Banks, you should be able to put on any of those. It's of course, like I said, the blue wheels, a lot of those things. Some of those things are just things that you can get through some of the different vendors they partner with. Like I know on the Bronco one, Air Design did several of the different parts that they put on the ORV package for the Bronco, and so you can get those parts through Air Design. And like the letters on the grill, the blue ones,
what size are those?
Those are available through what's that company?
They're 17-inch 17-inch wheels, if it's the same as the freewheeling, which they're I think they're going to go hand in hand. They're going to be very similar in their specs.
Maybe they'll make that a package next year. Its own package.
I said if I had it in my budget and I could make it happen, as soon as it became available, it would be in my driveway. Because I love it. They really wanted to push me towards going for a Bronco Sport with that package.
Yep.
Okay. This was just a fun comment I found. Ford should make an electric submarine and call it the Eel. All right, on to questions. When I try to remote start my Maverick via the app, most of the time I get the following message. Your Maverick can't be started remotely because it's already running. What does that mean?
All right, so I was reading this comment. Here. Let's read this one comment. Let's start viewing it. Most of the time I get the following message. My Maverick can't be started remotely because it's already running. Okay, so so if it's running, so if you schedule remote starts and then you try to remote start it during one of those scheduled times, then you'll get that message. So you might look and see if you have scheduled remote start times. I know, like, your mom has her Expedition schedule remote start every day.
Mm-hmm.
If you try to remote start it while it's running, then it'll say that. Now, if it's not running, that would be something that would concern me. That'd be the only thing that I could say. Now, do keep in mind, if you here's just on the side note on this, if you let's say you have scheduled remote start times, and let's say one day it remote starts, and that day you don't go drive the vehicle, then the next day it won't remote start. Because if you don't get in and then drive it, then it's not going to remote start the next day. So you actually have to drive it. So I've had some people say you can only remote start your vehicle using the app once total all day. And I'm like, nope, you can't, as long as you start the vehicle in between. So if I remote start it in the morning, right, with my app.
Because I ran into that with my Maverick, because I would have it set up to automatically start at a certain time, and then on the weekends it would start at that time, and then it wouldn't go on Monday.
You can on there, you can not have it do Saturday and Sunday.
Yes, I figured that out after a few weeks, but I now don't have that ability anymore.
Yep. So anyway, so you have to do that. So like if I come to work, if I like remote start in the morning and then I come to work, and then when I'm going to go home, I can remote start it again using the app. So I can do that over and over as long as I start it in between tryouts. Now, if you're like, I can remote start with my app twice in a row, but then not after that. As long as it's set in my car on the remote start, how many times will you want it to try, and then how long. You can set the duration to 5, 10, 15-minute durations, and you can set it to 1 or 2 times that it can remote start. So sometimes I'll remote start it and thinking, okay, I'm going to be going out, and then I'm like get busy and something happens, like I didn't leave when I thought I was. Well, now it's probably cold again, so I can remote start it again a second time and then go out to it. So anyway,
Yeah, I need to talk to Niles. Remind me, Niles, if you're still in here tomorrow. If not, I think I'll remember. We need to get remote start for Lebo's Fusion.
don't know about that.
Hopefully I can do it, because when I drive the Fusion, I'm tired of having to go out there and start it and not remote start like I do with my C-Max. And I know he's tired of it too, so. All right, can Tim explain what SIMS is? I assume this is a form of quick stock order process.
Yeah, it is. Certain models have Sims orders, so they are like you just kind of put it in there and then they kind of build it based on a certain configuration, I think. But yeah, it's there. I can't remember what it stands for. But yeah, that is basically a quick stock process for certain models. So some models have Sims and some don't.
Mm-hmm.
Most of your E's, Escape, Explorer.
Yeah.
Edge.
The recall was for a power module issue, not the turn signal.
Okay, well, that's why I might have fixed it.
All right. Is it true that the first Rangers are going to be held and not shipped until the end of March?
I don't know. That would have been a good. Is it true?
Yeah.
Because I don't know. No. I wouldn't. So what I've heard from Altering Nation is that they're doing a media drive event where they can drive the Ranger. It's supposed to happen in March. So they said they're not going to go out until those people until media's had an opportunity, and then their videos can go out right when they start shipping them out. So I don't know if that's true or not. It would be a shame because I know some of them are already ready and built for them to sit for a full month and bog down their lots before shipping them out. I don't know.
Especially because people have been waiting since this summer.
Yeah. Now, on the other hand, it may be more that they don't have the okay to buy yet, and they don't have the EPA done yet. That would be more likely to be happening there. So,
what made you choose regular Mountain Dew versus Code Red?
I had a Code Red earlier.
I have a question regarding your RTR Bronco Sport. Why, oh why, was the B&O system not optioned? I have considered trading the two-door Big Ben SAS for it, but it doesn't have the B&O.
Okay, regarding your RGR Bronco. Okay, so our Bronco Sport is on a Badlands, but it probably doesn't have the premium package. So there's a Badlands premium package. It gets the B&O sound system.
But he's wondering why we ordered it that way. Don't know.
Keep the price down.
Well,
I mean, we ordered a bunch of Bronco Sport Badlands, and the other one sold. But
I think what happened is we had a couple of stock units come in, and they were like, "Well, it's not selling. Let's throw a package on it." And I think that one actually sold because it came out of my Impop ads.
Yes, and I saw it at Target. Somebody locally that bought it. Saw at Target the weekend, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's our green RTR one.
So
it's got a tag on it. So okay, it's sold.
Someone local, so we'll get to see that around.
Yeah.
Do you have any information on the whereabouts of my Maverick? I have not checked today. I usually don't check those until Friday.
It's not here.
Yeah.
Tell you that.
I'm keeping a sharp eye on our sheets that come in. Any T3 news?
No.
Okay.
Hopefully you'll find out at the dealer meeting.
How far?
Here's this, by the way. I just kicked you.
Oh, yep.
So Ragnar said Sims, Smart Inventory Management System.
Yes. How far do you ship cars if someone buys them from you out of state? We'll ship anywhere within the United States.
We've shipped to Hawaii.
Shipped to Hawaii.
That tells you anything.
We've shipped one to Alaska as well. So as long as you're in the United States, we can ship to you.
I think we had somebody that bought an F-150 Lightning from Alaska.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Shipped it to them.
And the thing is if you live in Canada but have an address in the United States, we can sell to you. We cannot sell out of the country.
Mm-mm.
We've had people in Germany reach out asking to purchase with us. I ordered a 23 Maverick in August of 22 because I'll be receiving a 24. Does this price protection cover the difference of the 23 to 24?
Yeah, I ordered 23 in August because I'll be receiving 24 price. Yeah, so you'll get a price. You'll get a transition private offer is what you should be getting. So make sure your dealership has that. You should have a certificate to make up not all of the difference, but hopefully most of it.
All right. I thought you said Ford is moving to build and buy, meaning you can buy direct. So they are going to allow you to build and buy on the website, but it's still going to go through a dealer.
Yep.
So you'll order on the website, it'll get attached to a dealer. You can put in a specific dealer if you want to, or it just gets attached to the closest one to you. And then from there, it gets scheduled, built, and then shipped to that dealer where you will pick it up.
So it's no different than it was before for 23 model year, where you actually put in your reservation and then you could go ahead and purchase it or build it online. So they're changing the word because, and what they had on the website is build and price. They don't want people to think that they build and price it and then take that to their dealer. They want people to think they can still buy it online as well. So they're just changing the terminology. Nothing really has changed on the website except for build and buy versus build and price. So it's just it's a thing of wording to let customers know they can actually go ahead and order it online, which they could last year as well. So you still do it through a dealer. You pick a delivering
it's
dealer.
Kind of like how Ford has different wording for the build and price versus the order guide versus the actual order bank. Sometimes it can get confusing because not everything is named the same way in every place. Will it have a dual? Oh wait, I already answered that. Trevor Hollenbeck, my 24 Pro is scheduled for February 26th. When would the sticker be available? I have a VIN. It would be available about the time it goes into production. I've tried a few weeks before. Sometimes it pops up, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
But while it's in production, it's probably the best time for me to be able to look it up and send it to you.
So he's talking about Lightning. He got his, because I thinking he wasn't scheduled for a while, but now that's good to know. Like his is scheduled for February production, which means they are producing. I mean, well, I guess they're continuing to produce Lightnings, but we don't really have too many that are scheduled right now. So,
but those window stickers show up about during production when I can view them. Do you think Ford will ever go the direction Lincoln went with the infotainment system being the whole dash like on the 24 Nautilus?
Well, I was actually going to talk about that this week, but they actually did show they did show that it says Ford and Lincoln. So some of them might. I was going to ask everybody what they thought of that screen, but so basically there's still a touch screen in the center stack, but then there's a full dash. Have you seen it?
Does it
It shows a full dash going across, so that when you click on something, it pops up in front of the driver or the dash. But it's like, what's the point? They can just look over there, because if you're going to still go over there to initiate it, right?
That could also be confusing, because if the passenger initiates it and the passenger wants to see it, well, now it's in front of the driver.
I don't know. I know. We'll see.
I'm thinking. We have thoughts. ML Culpepper, yes, you will still be able to choose your dealer. So when you are placing your order, you'll be asked which dealer you want to go with.
Now, we're only talking the EVs.
Yes, EV only.
EV only. So we're talking Mach-E and Lightning.
And it will share with you which dealerships are EV certified, right?
Correct.
So you'll only be able to place the order
with a Model E dealer.
With a Model E dealer.
Correct.
That is something that is pertinent to it. It may not be your closest dealer. Your closest EV dealer might be 200 miles away. Hope not, but it might be.
Yeah.
The passenger will start playing with your info system. Did we remind Johnny he's unbanned?
I don't know. I was on his live stream on Sunday. I don't think he took offense to it too much. because
It's
he,
happened
he, did, he
before,
didn't
and
say
then
he didn't say anything to me anyway on the
it's
live stream.
happened before, and at the end of that live stream, I actually banned Ridgeview, our moderator, by accident as well. So, you know, I'm back on my big screen.
All right.
Negative comments for a positive guy at McArthur for your rants on For Video Guy channel, but lots of views. That's right.
Yeah, it was getting some views.
The same message happened to me with my expedition, but wasn't already running.
So she's saying that was comment to the
the remote start
thing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Tim's Ford Video Guide channel is his medium to express his opinions without Ford's overwatch. It's a refreshing way to hear and see him in a First Amendment free environment. It's also not attached to the dealership in any way.
Yeah, I mean, I do sometimes I'll do the rant on here, but we do it like about this time where Ford's in bed, yeah. So, yep, I could do that. I'm actually working on a video, and I'm not really like 100% loving it for Moab when I did it for Moab because I feel like it's going long and I add some music, but I don't know. I feel like I'm doing too much of the just seeing the whole trail thing, but I need to figure out what people like on that. But I need to get better at editing and like throwing in some ad-free music that can just make it a little more fun and everything. But anyway, we'll see. Still working on that. I spent like 4 hours on Sunday editing it, and then got done. I was like, I don't know if I like that. So,
all right, I don't have any more questions. If you asked a question and I did not answer it, please drop it in now.
Yeah, all the questions are answered, unless we missed it. Drop it in.
Dan said you two have very professional approaches to everything. That's the hope.
Yeah, we try to help also explain like what from a dealer perspective. That's why I'm hoping that we can reach more people with this live stream, because I feel like there's a lot of good information here, but also we do something I don't think any other dealer does, at least any Ford dealer, and that is to be here to answer your questions, right? You don't have to go into a dealership. Like, we don't care if you have an order with us or not, or if you want to do business with us or not, but if you have questions and you don't, sometimes it's intimidating going into a dealer, right? Walking through those sales guys, and then they don't maybe give you the answer you want because they're in it for a sale or whatever. This is a very low key, no pressure atmosphere in this live stream. So if you have questions, you can pop those in and we're going to help you out. We don't care if you order from us or not. We're here to just help people out. So anyway, all right.
My 23 Hybrid Maverick got a check engine light with code P2C22. Looks like it might be the recall regarding the heat exchange, even though my VIN wasn't listed. Well, if it pops up, if you go to your local service shop, they can check to see if yours does have it.
Hopefully, as long as the check engine light stays on.
Yes. Right. And then they can check to make sure that that recall pertains to your vehicle and help you out with that. But yes, I like to help people. I like to, and I try and bring the perspective of the customer in.
Yeah.
Well, I like to bring in my perspective as a mom.
One of the things that I feel like I've prided myself in over the years, being doing this for 22 years, is that I still try to think like a customer, and a lot of times I'm still am a customer. Like ordering the vehicle, or ordering vehicles and that kind of stuff, and going through it, adding stuff to the Bronco, and everything else. So,
but I know that if I hadn't grown up in the dealership, my dad, a salesman and then a manager, and working here off and on for years, buying a car would have been very intimidating to me. But I know the process. I know how the salesmen work. I know everything going on. So I am confident when I go in to buy a vehicle, or when I'm looking at a vehicle. I know how to run the numbers myself.
Yeah.
So I know it would be very confusing when purchasing a vehicle. And that's why I try and help out as much as possible, because I don't want someone to be confused and unsure what's going on.
So, oh,
What the heck? There we
there
go.
you go. All right. So this is Mr. McArthur, right? Or no, Mike M. Yeah, McArthur.
Yeah.
All right. He said, did you answer the question about the MAV rear turn signal recall? Does it lower miles per gallon? As you know what? I had mine done and it didn't change mine. So maybe they just changed their driving habits after they got the recall done. I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a difference. I had my recall done. They actually did it mobile right here on our lot.
Mhm.
I had it done and I did not notice any difference in my miles per gallon. So anyway,
I've noticed difference in mine, but it's also been like negative degrees, and I'm driving with children, so my heat's on full blast for hours.
Yep.
Not hours, but my entire drive. Voles mentioned Town and Country has a lot of content, but you all have more details and assist individual customers to perfection.
They have a lot of fun aftermarket videos. They do a
Mhm.
lot of that.
Yeah.
So they do, and they've kind of shifted theirs to that aftermarket TC Customs.
Mhm.
So it's pretty cool because they do a lot of. They have their own little store,
Yeah.
aftermarket store now. It's pretty cool. But
Yep.
and Mitch is a pretty good guy. We met him in. You didn't. You weren't
I
there.
haven't met
Yeah,
him.
you haven't met them at Detroit. Yeah. All right. Ragnicon said, copyright music thing. Yeah, sometimes you get done with that and you're like, oh, I got to think of that music. But I just go to, I mean, YouTube has music now, and a lot of it you can go through that you don't even have to put the attribution in the video. But then they have others where you just have to give it basically credit in your description, and that's it. So I'm keep to the like the music at the beginning. You'll see, that the music that I use is like I'll stick to something because I know, okay, that's worked for me, and it hasn't shut the live stream down. Because if you use the wrong music or if it's copyrighted music at the beginning, like when I have the 2 minutes when people are getting in, that music, if it's copyrighted music, then they'll shut your live stream down.
Mhm.
So I make sure it is definitely copyright 100%, no annotations, no nothing needed for that clip and that music, so
Yeah.
that doesn't happen. If it happens at the end, then it's kind of late at that point. But I've also figured out 15 seconds doesn't get you strikes either.
Yeah.
If you like my ending, you'll notice my ending scene on most of my videos can be 20 seconds and mine are 15.
Yeah.
Because I know if it's under 20, they won't be looking for the music because it's not long enough. So anyway.
Yeah.
All right. About done.
Mhm.
I think your mom wants some cheesecake back at the house.
Yeah. I want to try the raspberry.
The plumbing video. All right, just read the comments down there.
Yeah.
Somebody had the same intro music as me. Actually, what's funny is my intro that we have of us coming up and the different things like that. That actually was put together by a company that I pay for. I can't remember what it's called now. Place it. And
gluten.
and so the music is actually theirs. You just pop in what words you want and what images you want, and then it just makes it for me. And so they do it for me. So
Yeah.
that's how I come across that. So that
Yeah.
music is somebody else is probably using that same same intro, just using different images. So it's kind of funny. All right.
Mom's allergic to this.
She is. Yes, they have graham cracker crust. So
Yeah.
yes, she is. All right, so chow down because we got.
I'll take some to
we
Lebo.
got a lot to eat here. We can probably leave it in the refrigerator back there and give it to people here at work. But we gotta take some back home to Jeff.
I'll take some to Lebo.
I'll bring it back tomorrow.
There you go.
All right. I think that's it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, thank you very much for joining me on this birthday live stream. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and yeah, thank you very much. And we gotta thank this. My lovely wife got this so we could have it on the live stream. So thank you. She's joining us tonight because I I guess she's bored. home.
She got done with the home group.
She didn't have it tonight. They canceled.
Oh.
So yeah, that's probably why she's joining. All right. Anyway, well, thank you guys very much, and I hope you guys have a great week. And then next Tuesday I'll be here, and then I'll be going to Vegas after that. So
That's right.
all right. So I'm gonna work on a Mach-E video for you guys, hopefully for Thursday. So hopefully be looking for that. And other than that, I'll see you guys on the next video. Don't forget to stay positive, be kind to one another,
And be kind to yourself.
and we'll see you later.